Hey guys, welcome back to Whitty's Gear Reviews. Today we're going to be looking at another adventure event calendar, our advent calendar. One thing to consider, these are really fun to open for those outdoor people in your lives, right? These are great gifts, great Christmas presents. You want to start giving them out. Order them in November, give them out the very first day of December, because then they can open a gift from December 1st to December 24th, the day before Christmas. Now, I do want to say this particular advent calendar was set in by Brent. Thank you so much. Brent has sent in the last 3 advent calendars to the channel for us to review. And he helps us get some fresh content out there, so much appreciated, guys. Now, I will say, if you haven't seen the other 2 advent calendars, go back in time on my channel. There are 2 others. The last one that we did is going to be hard to beat, guys. That was a pretty good kit. A lot of useful stuff in there. Let's jump into this one and see what we have. And guys, all these advent calendars, I'll leave a link in the description. You can find them on Amazon. Like I said, great Christmas presents. They range from about $15 to $25, $27, somewhere in there. But I will leave a link to the description to the last 3 that we got. All right, as you can tell, it's just one big box. And this one is numbered 1 through 25, just like the other ones. 24 or 1 through 24, 24 being down here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go in order. We're going to open everything up and we'll briefly discuss if there's anything to discuss about the objects that we're finding. And then we'll look at it as a total and see what did we get for our survival gear, our kit, our EDC gear. That's what's good about these things, is they kind of cover it all. So let's jump in and let's get started. Let's start off with number 1. The longer box. And true to our other kits, there's our survival pin. Nothing wrong with these pin, guys. They're a little heavier. They're made out of aluminum. You've got your glass break on the end, but for somebody just getting started or cool conversation piece, they're not super heavy, but they write really, really well. So, anyways, just your typical survival pin. Stick that out of the way. And let's go on to number 2. What do we have here? Now, I do like that. And if I'm not mistaken, I can't remember if kit number 1 had glow sticks in it. But 2 glow sticks. You have a yellow and a red. Come in handy. Great signaling devices. Great for marking a trail. Basically, put a piece of paracord around here. Swirl it around. Give that buzz saw effect. If you're needing rescue and you see lights in the distance, it will make the area look a lot brighter. Use red at night for reading. Doesn't throw off your night vision. Bunch of different uses for chem lights, glow sticks, whatever it is you call them. And not to mention, people just like playing with them. So if you were to give this to a teenager or something like that, they're going to carry that pin in their backpack. And they're going to carry these glow sticks, take them outside, throw them up in the air like we used to as kids and catch them. And you might hear my sinuses are shot, have been all week. So I apologize in advance. Doing the best I can. All right, guys, let's go into number 3. What do we have here? Smaller, wider box. We've got ourselves a emergency blanket. All right. So, emergency blanket, a lot of different reasons for that, right? Number one is it's going to reflect back about 90% of your core body temperature. A lot of times the best thing to do with these, especially the smaller one, is to wrap it around you, find a good place to sit down on top of something, whether it be a stump or anything, push a little bit of this underneath you, and try to keep your core body temperature in there as long as you can. You can use these to make small improvised shelters, but I would only recommend that if you had something to lay on top of or if you had a means to start a fire. If this is all you have, you're going to kind of wrap it around you to keep the core body temperature as best as you can regulated. Or if it's raining, these also help keep water off of you and that temperature in, so it doesn't make you any colder. Could stop you from getting hyperthermic. Let's see, number 4. What do we have in here? And another one of the card tools. I can tell you that the card tools in the last kit was super sharp. And we actually used it to open a lot of our other bags. This one is more gimmicky than it is sharp. Yeah, see, it won't. The other one would cut through plastic. This one not so much, but looks like you got a wire stripper there, flathead screwdriver. Tells you how to call for SOS or help. So I guess that part's useful. Another flathead there. This is supposed to be your... I guess it would cut through a box. But if you're in a survival situation, you're not getting Amazon out there. But it does have some cordage. So that is useful. Number 5. Always useful. Hank of paracord. Nothing wrong with that at all. So far, next to the chem lights, that's probably the most useful thing that you could get in the box, is having some cordage. And I'm not going to explain what you can use cordage for, but all kinds of things, including shelter building and so on and so forth. Let's go to number 6. What do we have in here? I'm not 100% sure what this is. Oh, it's just one of those cell phone cases. With a strap. But I'm wondering, hear me out here, guys. I get what it says you can use it for, but that's not what I'm going to use it for. In a survival situation, and plus my phone's waterproof as it is to a certain degree. I mean, I'm not going in the ocean with this thing. And it's been so long since I've even seen these things. Alright, what I would use this thing for is to carry water. Or I would use it to store medical supplies that I didn't want to get wet. Anything that I didn't want to get wet, I would put in here, shut her down, put the little ribbon on top, and I'd carry it around my neck. So anything that was small that I didn't want to get wet, I would put in this bag. I mean, you could shove your cell phone in there, guys, if you don't want your cell phone to get wet, if you're crossing a river or stream or anything like that. But you can also use this as a way to carry water, forage food, whatever. It's just a small little bag that's waterproof. Not a bad option. Number 7. Our typical survivor blanket, bracelet. This came in almost every one of the kits. You're still going to get about 6 to 8 foot of paracord on there. So, I'm trying to get some of these wrappers off everywhere. Alright, out of the way. You're still going to get about 6 to 8 foot of paracord on there. This compass is... this one is working. But I wouldn't... if it's all you had, guys, I get it, but I wouldn't rely on them very often unless you take yours out quite a bit and can guarantee that it's working. Whistle's good. You have your little ferro rod here. They're still hard to strike in these things. There it goes. So it will light. What I recommend doing, you're going to tear up these buckles and all that. What I like to do is I like to take this ferro rod out, pull this out of there, and then make a standalone tool away from this. To me, this is a good way to store it so you don't lose it. Boom, it's not going to come out of there, but I would take them out to use. So not a bad way to carry your small little fire starter. And having a fire starter, that's not going to guarantee you that you're going to start a fire, that right there. You're going to have some skill set and a little bit of luck if it's cold, windy, and rainy and you're trying to start a fire. Let's be honest. If you don't practice that skill, just because you got this in a survival kit does not mean you're going to be able to have a fire. Even people that practice that sometimes in the wrong conditions have trouble making a fire with a Ferrocerium rod and a striker. Okay. Moving on to 8 up here. See what we got. Another compass. Now the last kit gave us a really good compass. So that one's hard to beat. Alright, this one's correct. It is pointing true north. Seems like aluminum. I would trust this one a lot more. It's got a glow-in-the-dark point on there so you can see it at night, but it is pointing true north. Alright, so not bad. Good little compass. Always good to have. And these are, like I said, these are great kits for beginners. Something to learn. Go out in the neighborhood. You know, go out in the field behind your house. Nowhere where you're actually going to truly get lost, but go somewhere you're not familiar with and see if you can navigate your way back. Alright, number 9. Those are awesome. Can never have too many. Alright, so coupled with your Ferrocerium rod and striker, if you take these tabs, most likely they have candle wax on them. You rough them up real good. You break that candle wax, you expose them inner fibers. You hit them with a spark, you have a better chance of starting a fire. But before you do that, make sure you have dry tinder. Make sure you have a bunch of kindling. Make sure you have your all your wood set up, ready to go before you light one of these. That'll just better the chances that you'll have to get a fire started. All right, number 9, number 10. What do we got in this one? All right, now you actually have a... I've had a couple of these, and every one that I've had that's shaped like this, right, has been an actually really good fire starter, and have replaced some other fire starters that I've had in some kits. Just getting that paint off there, guys, to see how this one works. Yeah. Look at the size sparks these things throw off. These are the good ones. If you get one of these in your kit, these are the kind that you want to put in your backpack. Yes, I have brand name expensive, not expensive, but expensive for a ferro rod, right? $45, $55 for a ferro rod, up to $65. It's kind of expensive, for a ferro rod. But you have to look at it as if that's what's going to start me a fire if I have no other way, right? And the better quality, maybe, the better the chances. But I've used one like this and started many fires with it. These things work really good. That's a good addition. You can see I even got some burn marks starting on these boxes from flicking those sparks. That's a good sign. Let's just double check everything around, make sure we're not catching the table or anything like that on fire. Let's go to number 11. Yeah, yeah. Oh, another one of those things. So we've got a couple of these, and one was junk because we couldn't get it to open very easily. It felt like it was going to break. And this one, not so bad. Guys, other than the pliers and the wire cutters, I think most of the stuff on these are pretty much useless. If you needed a bind, that all's a little better than the last one. Then you have a Phillips. Oh, that's hard to get out. Small little Phillips. At least you could get to the nail nicks on these. Well, I said that on the other side. They push these things down so far you cannot get to that nail nick. So you have to kind of pry them out, which in a survival situation, I guess that's the last thing I want to do is. But hey, use that fire starter right there. You can pry them out. It's like a little nail cleaner and a little file with a little flathead on it. So if you don't want to break something valuable to pry something, I mean, you could use this. But this thing will get you out of a bind. And I think that's what this whole kit's intended for, is get you out of a bind. It's not stuff that you want to have in your long-term survivalist kits. This is something that you want to put in a bag in your car, in your four-wheeler, anything like that, just to have something. A secondary kit in case you lose your primary kit. But these things are decent. I'm going to put it to you like that. It would work if you needed a pair of pliers. Pull out a, splinter or something like that, or fix something that broke. All right. What's next? Up here. 12, the big box. I almost looked right past it because I've been looking right past it the whole time. Oh, this one says first aid. I wonder if it's just a box or if it's an actual kit. Because if it's an actual kit, that'd be the first one that was sent out of the Advent boxes. Now, it would be more just your bag to carry all your first aid kit in. But it's a nice bag. So, it's a flip open bag. Appears to be water resistant. Fairly big. Gives you places to strap down bandages. A little pocket in the back there. You could hook it to Molly. You could make these your primary emergency bag, or you could take this off. And because to me that means first aid. None of this stuff really in here other than maybe this will stop a wound from bleeding. But you get what I'm saying. You get a giant first aid bag, a bag enough to carry all this stuff in, which is a really nice bag. It's made out of good material, super strong. Got molly webbing all over it, elastic on the inside, fillets open so you can see all your gear, and then quick attachments there to put it on any bag. Zippers work really good. Nice little bag. This is a good little bag to have for anything, for a more advanced kit. So that's a good addition. That's probably the best bag we've got yet out of event calendar. So that works. 13. Oh, okay. Now we're starting to build our first aid kit. We've got some alcohol prep pads. Guys, if you are ever out there and you need alcohol prep pad and you're in a survival situation and you use one of these, wad it back up, put it back in this little container, throw it in your pocket, and keep it as a fire extinguisher. It's still going to have bits of alcohol on it if you fold it back in this container. It's going to give you more fire ability than anything else that you have, except for lighting your paracord. So you do have some alcohol prep pads. We have here a survival whistle. These things are pretty good. I like these because they're super flat. Yeah. Now, to me, if you're going to be in a survival situation and you're trying to make an Altoids tin survival can, and guys, I get it, those cans, they're not practical, but there are use for those. And there's guys out there all the time that are trying to find the right thing. This is super thin, and it would fit perfect if you wanted the survival whistle in one of your kits. Let's try it out. Ooh, it gives you that good harmonica type sound, which is going to be not what people are used to hearing out of the survival whistle, because you have those 3 chambers. That's actually really nice. This might actually go into, and you can see there the way they have it set up, it's going to give you the 3 different tones. That's awesome. This is actually going to go into one of my bags. I like that whistle. It's perfect. I like how flat it is. It doesn't take up no space, and it's super light. That is definitely going to go. That might even go on my camping bag, guys, to be honest, because of its size and its weight. Most likely that's going to go on my hiking bag. I really like that whistle. Go over to 15 over here. We've got our spoon fork combo. In a bind, guys, you do have a can opener. You do have, I would consider that. You could probably cut meat with that, but that's more like a fish scaler. But if you had nothing else, man, these it would work. It's not super lightweight, anything like that, but for a camping kit, guys, if you're going out camping or hiking or hunting or anything like that and you're not planning on having one, but guys, I can tell you how many times I've been at a deer lease and somebody not have any way to eat with. Not even a plastic fork that came with a meal from somewhere. They had nothing to eat with. So something like this, hey, it ain't perfect, but man, it's something to eat with. So still serviceable. All right, 16. These little lights, guys, they come in every one of these kits, and I get it because they're super cheap. But I've carried one for a while in one of my kits until it finally gave out. I carried it as a backup. I carried it because it was something super light, and my main flashlight was USB-C chargeable. My thought process was if I did not have no way to charge anything, I could have this and 3 AA batteries, and I'm good for a little while. So it will take one single AA battery. That's it. AA battery being one of the easiest batteries to find. You may be able to find some others if you use the 3 you have. And just a good little light. Right there, you can see it gives you from a flood to a spot. Solid aluminum construction, good little pocket clip. Not bad little lights, guys, for a secondary backup light or just having in your glove box of your car. They're good little lights. $17. Believe that would be a poncho. And it is. Just one of those real light, in case of emergency, poncho. So this is, you know, hey, I'm caught in the rain. I need something to get out of the rain, to get back to my car, to get out of these woods, to cover a bag or a backpack, anything like that. But so far in a survival situation, if you did have to stay the night and you wanted to put something over your head, now you can use that for wrapping yourself around, and then you might be able to set this on top of you between the two. You might have you a good little improvised sit-down shelter. All right, number 18. Some of these. All right, these are better than the last ones. The last ones, when you undid them to open them, or to tighten them, they actually spun all the way around the collar. These things aren't bad to have for whatever reasons. They're not climbing. These are aluminum. They're not going to support a lot of weight, but they do lock. Let's see how well it locks. Yeah, it does lock. These are going to be good for not losing gear. For hanging things, anything like that. Making a bear if you had some food and you needed to take some of your cordage, throw your food in a bag, pull it up in a tree. Carabiners work great for that. And, of course, for carrying gear. Go over to 19. We're almost done, guys. That's the same knife that the same factory makes for the same kit. I can hear you. Tell you, I hear something rattling. I don't know what it is. Now I don't hear nothing rattling. That's weird. Or is there something inside there? It's got to be the spring assist. So that would be annoying, but when it's open, nothing. But good little knife, guys. I've used these before. These things come in. I was showing them this a long time ago, so we had a way to cut all these packages. But they are sharp. They will work. In a survival situation, a knife is a knife if you don't have a knife, right? You got a way to cut your paracord back there, or seatbelt cutter, glass break. You do have a, drop point, little jimping on the top, serrations there, and for cutting rope or anything like that, and then the rest of the belly of your blade. Nothing special. These things come in almost every survival kit you could find. From I think the Ozark one has one of these shoved in there. The one from Harbor Freight. But man, it's a spring-loaded knife, guys, so it's going to pop out of there. It works really well. You could almost touch it. It's going to fling out of there because it doesn't lock itself too good in the locked position. But if you just need a knife, something to get you by, here you go. Not the best quality in the world, but still a knife in a situation if you needed it. Number 20. We've got this twice. So, people understand that these will not carry a standard small little water bottle. It'll slip right through here. You have to have a water bottle with a bigger ring around it, like a smart water bottle. It'll carry a smart water bottle all day long. Then if you need to take a drink, snap it off your backpack, off your rig, off your belt, and go. I usually like carrying these the opposite way. There. Hanging it from your belt, hanging it from a backpack. Not a bad way to have water on you. But if you were to put this around a regular water bottle, it will slip right through there. So it's got to be like a smart water bottle, just not them super flimsy little tiny water bottles. Will not work on that. But good to have, guys, to carry a water source with you. All right, what do we have next? 21. Almost done, guys. All right, we got some rolls of gauze. So we do have a little bit of a first aid start, right? We've got these and we've got some alcohol pads. Let's go into 22, sorry. And I'd much rather had some more first aid, but I get it. It's kind of rough, not very much. It might get you in a bind, but typically before you cut through a piece of wood that you couldn't lean up against a tree and break with your foot, this probably will wear you out. Guys, in a situation, you're not going to be cutting nothing that big anyways. If you're trying to get some green wood, not dead standing for whatever reason, yeah, okay. You might need some sort of saw to cut through that because it's going to be too flexible, but cool. Fun to go out there and mess around with and see if you can get them to work, but most people are just going to get frustrated and it'll end up breaking. So if you're saying, hey, I've got a saw, I would take that out, practice with it, and you decide for your area if that would work. Oh, another set of these. These things come in handy, guys. These are great to have on any keychain because they're no nonsense. Flathead. Oh, this is actually the same tool twice. Man, that's not cool. They gave you the same one. You got two Phillips. Normally it comes with a Phillips and a flathead. So you can use your Phillips and then you can use your flathead, you know, for leverage, or you can use it as a standalone tool. All right, well, now we have two Phillips. So hopefully we get a kit that has two flatheads. But these things come in handy. Just throw them on your little keychain split ring here and toss them onto your keys. Or dangle them from the rear view mirror of your car or whatever, and you always have a set of screwdrivers with you. Last one, guys. All right. Some stuff to add to your medical kit. Probably some of the worst tweezers known to man. And probably equal with the scissors. Would they cut if you needed them to? Let's just try to cut this little thing off of this. Yes, they would cut if you needed them to. But like any first aid kit, guys, that's one place where I wouldn't skimp on a lot of money. Now, on some stuff like this, you don't have to go like Johnson & Johnson. You could buy some off-brand stuff, you know, and get by with that stuff. It would still work. But stuff like this, I just really don't see how that would be useful. Maybe, I don't even think it, yeah. I mean, it would barely pinch skin, so I don't know what that would be used for. Guys, if you know why they put these in kits like this, what the reason is, because that won't even pinch skin, let me know. Curious. All in all, guys, not a bad survival kit. There are some useful stuff. I like the light. I like that fire starter. I love that whistle. The first aid stuff is good to have. The hank of cordage, the fire starters. I think that's a good start in my opinion. Probably that compass just to get started. And I would put this in there as a way to carry water. So these things right here, oh, of course, in your poncho and your first aid kit and this bag. So, and your chem lights. All right. Minus all that other stuff that just takes up a bunch of room that you could probably get for cheap, better of. This wouldn't be a bad start to your first aid kit. Or not first aid kit, but to your survival kit. Emergency blanket, poncho, cordage, really good whistle, really good ferro rod, flashlight, some way to put water, fire tabs, some alcohol pads, some bandages, some extra cordage, and some chem lights. Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Do me a favor. Like, share, subscribe. Click all those notifications. Don't know what's going on with the algorithm here lately, but I've been putting out videos and they're not getting watched. And people are saying that they have not been notified that I had a video up. So if that's the case, guys, I make a video almost every 24 hours. So if you haven't seen me in 24 hours, click on my channel, go to videos, and you'll see it there. And if you're not seeing it there, please let me know because I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Anyways, guys, if nobody will advocate for me, I advocate for myself. Every 24 hours, there's a video out there, typically. So go to my page, look it up, watch it there, share it with your friends. We'd sure appreciate it. Let me know what you think about this kit, guys. Not as good as the last kit, but has some better stuff than the first kit. Would y'all say so far in kits 1, 2, and 3 that this one probably is number 2? Anyways, guys, love y'all. See you on the next one.